Okay, now we flip back. Can you see me?
No, now I can.
Okay, I just want to make sure I could definitely see you, gorgeous. And how you doing this fine Friday evening?
It is a beautiful day. After this, I plan to go walk some dogs and sit outside and just enjoy.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Yes, it is 9 o'clock my way. I'm chilling, relaxing, talking to a beautiful person. It's a beautiful lady like yourself. Got to go to work tomorrow though. There's people I do have to work a 9 to 5. Don't think that my life is that luxurious that I don't. So,
You know,
so
some people need the schedule. It's not always easy to be self motivating every single day.
I'm saying because this chase is something else. And speaking about chase, you've been doing this for how many years, darling?
Well, I've been an adult in one way or another since I was 21 years old.
Mm.
Now,
So,
all throughout my 20s and part of my 30s, I kept a regular job too. So I started off as a stripper in my 20s, and then I
mm,
worked retail
mm.
during the day and worked as a stripper at night. And and then I got into this at the age of 30. Was my first scene at 30.
Mm.
Back when nobody over the age of 24 as a female goes to shop porn. So
Of course. Actually, you want to be honest. I think when you started to shoot, that was when the industry started to turn to wanting older women versus younger women.
well,
Honestly.
it was also when it went from just DVDs to
Hmm.
internet because I
Yeah.
started internet based companies out of Miami.
Yes. Yes.
And I didn't go to LA until like 10, 15 years later.
Oh my goodness. And see, people understand this. I actually, I'm mad at myself because see, I had a big trash bag of Score magazines, right? I had a couple of covers with her on it that I have lost, and I'm still mad because
I
I'm sorry.
lost.
I'm just gonna give you your flowers real quick. You are a legend in this business, babe.
Well, thank
And
you.
and I was seeing you, I think, before I even really got in the business like that. And plus, plus, I love talking to people that, like me, you've been in the business long enough that you can give a perspective that others really can't.
Right.
And go ahead. What you about to say, darling?
Well, I mean, being in the online part of the industry since I was 30 and I'm now 55, so it's
Mm,
25 years.
yes. And wait a second. You 50 what?
I've been in this online part of the industry for 25 years, which is, I mean, first of all, that's almost unheard of for females before, to be in the industry for decades.
Yeah,
That was
that's
just unheard of.
that's a testament to you. Very few could pull that off,
Uh,
honestly.
I mean, now we're seeing more and more of that, especially since camming and all the other sites like
Yeah.
OnlyFans and stuff, because so many of us were dependent upon just companies to make money, shooting
Mm,
for professional companies. That's what the business was when I started, and
yes.
and then I always wanted my own solo site. That was from the beginning my goal, and so I've been a solo site owner for 23
For,
year.
yes, for a long time. Because
Yeah,
you was one of the few ladies that had one. Let's
yeah.
keep it wasn't a lot of females that had it. But see, also the reason why it took a lot to get one. It
It
was
took a lot. It took a lot. It took a lot, and I mean, so many ladies were messed over by their webmaster. I was one of them. It just took him a lot longer than everybody. I just took a lot longer to caught on to most of them. So you go through a couple of webmasters and have to rebuild again, but that's part of the challenge and what makes it exciting.
yeah. So people, I guess we gave you a nice start off. Hello. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. You know who I am.
Yeah.
Caviar Summer Champ, aka the porn rap star, your wonderful and gracious host. You know what you can do to find all my links. Go to one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Let me tell you about the sponsors. That is bringing you this wonderful podcast. The first one being the House of Dope Mag, the game, RockCitizenMagazine.com. Next up, award-winning, award-nominated voiceover with smut, and they even got virtual reality. I'm talking about BlushErotica.com. If you need candles, I got you covered. The Kinky Candle Company on Etsy. And for your legal needs, check out the Queen of Law from the Queen City, Mitchell Ferrari. All the links are in the description. Also, you can find me 5 days in the mornings on fullswapradio.com. Also on skyheartafterdarktv.com as well as the BGP LLC app. Now, I have to introduce this lady. She is a legend in this business. She has spanned many decades in this business. I used to jerk off to her. And I am proud to say such. She has the most famous, some of the pairs of most famous tits in all of the industry. And low key, she got a nice ass too, people. Don't trip. Wonderful personality, complete professional. She's a beast. She's a legend. She's a Hall of Famer if she ain't already. The one, the only Samantha 38. Geez, say hello to the smokers.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Oh my God. The premium smokers are screaming. Please bring it to the premium smoke room. We're going to work on it, fellas. We'll talk to her about coming to the premium smoke room. So, Miss Lady, you have been in this business many, many years. You not only have you been in this business many, many years, you have been doing it at a high level for many, many years. What do you attribute to being able to do that? We'll start there.
I set the standard because I was OG. I was the first one to shoot for a lot of companies. I changed how they shot stuff. I mean, before that, the chubby ladies were shot in videos making fun of them, like animals and stuff like that, and I absolutely just refused.
Yeah,
and then my stuff also went viral.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes,
Big Naturals yellow bikini top went viral.
Yes,
and I've been viral since then. And I mean, rule number one in business, which I come from, I used to be in management. Even as a stripper, I was also working for companies as managers. Rule number one in business is sales. Rule number two, number one, get away with a lot more shit. And I was number one in sales. I sold. I have over 200 magazines.
Yes.
Which is,
I mean, because I ain't go front. It was just like, I swear, like 1 year you was the cover for the score for like 6 months in a row. It felt like, I was like.
Not that many times, but I have been on the cover like 25 times.
I mean, still, there's 25 times, babe. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a huge now. But also, my very first company I shot was for the Score Group. And that landed my very first cover. And then I shot for them for 17 years, which is almost unheard of for any model of any size to shoot for one company that long. So there's maybe, 5 girls in that level?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 10?
See, and I think, and two, I think you were shooting around the time of the Boob Cruise, when they were still doing the Boob Cruise.
No, Boob Cruise was a couple of years before me.
Okay.
They only did it once, because I talked to the head photographer on that was Peter Wall, and I worked with Peter quite a bit. And he come from Vogue and Cosmo and stuff like that. So he come from the fashion industry to work for the Score Group. So I worked with the late, great Peter Wall on my very first shoot, and many shoots since then. And he was hilarious because he would tell me how he was like, the only exposure to the industry was on shoots. And so I would tell him, he would tell me how the industry was, and I'm like, no, I'm going to change that, and I'm going to change that, I'm going to change that, and I'm going to change this. And he sat there in the lunchroom at Score Group and goes, you can't do that. And I was like, watch me. And this is like on my third shoot. And then years later, we were shooting My Big Plump Wedding, which is a fan favorite. He sent me, we were all sitting down with the whole crew because they were the wedding guests. And he goes, you sat there and told me all the ways you're going to change the industry, and then you did it.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of just, being focused in the force of nature.
Mm. So with that being said, let's time to go in the time machine, right? Now we're gonna go back further than how before she got the porn. Let's begin with you in the strip club. How did
Okay.
you ended up in the strip club?
Um, I started doing lingerie shows to make money. Some friends of mine and I started a lingerie show where we would go do stripograms. And you
Okay.
put ads in the newspaper and yellow pages, and you would go do stripograms.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I needed more steady income than that. So then I went and applied at a titty bar because none of us knew what the fuck we were doing. So I was like, let me go get experience.
Now, and, and I'm pretty sure you had them big boobies then. So
I did. I was like 70 pounds lighter, but yeah, I had big titties and blonde and just 21 years old, and I worked in the strip clubs.
now for my smokers, explain to them the difference between a strip club, or a titty bar, so they know the difference. Because there is a difference to a certain extent.
I worked in titty bars. I wouldn't call it a strip club because we weren't allowed to. I was in a state that's very conservative, and we weren't allowed to do table dances or anything like that. The only
Mm-hmm.
money we could make was on stage
Mm-hmm.
and being tipped, and they couldn't touch us. There's a 3 foot rule.
They can only look. They can only look. God dang it.
You don't look, and then all I
Okay.
had to do was bounce, and I made money. So,
so
uh,
look. So with the strip club, what have you, was how was it like in the back with the other ladies and stuff like that?
um,
Being that you was new and
well, I, I'm still friends with some of those ladies. In fact, I drove by today with my mom. I drove by the second strip club I ever worked at, and I hadn't been by that place in 30 years. And I was like, didn't I used to dance there? On the strip club and dancing? She goes, yeah, I think so. So we had a laugh about that. I'm still friends with some of them,
mm,
and
that's cool.
which says that there's a pretty good group of girls I worked with.
Mm,
Um,
that's cool.
yeah, so these are enduring friendships that have lasted 30 years.
Mm. So shoot, so with you being in the strip club, of course that allows you to become comfortable with your body, comfortable with somewhat your sexuality to a certain extent, because of course you had to dance, you had to show off the titties, or what have you. Um, when did you started to dibble in? Did you start dibbling online first, or did you immediately start pursuing a porn career?
Okay, and I was a stripper. The online thing didn't exist.
Okay, then. Okay, I just want to make.
Okay, so
I mean, I was thinking
I-
that to a certain extent. I was like, all
right.
right, so
Yeah, the online thing didn't exist. We didn't have AOL. We didn't have dial-up or nothing like that when I started stripping. And um, so there's that. That didn't come until like 30s when I got
yeah.
my first AOL dial-up. Um, so
You said AOL dial-up. That let you know.
yeah. So that's when my porn career started. Is when that happened, and
So,
it,
so, 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 so that whole time you was in the strip club.
yeah, yeah. I was a stripper for 12 years. I there's movies like Gypsy Rose Lee and Barbara Steinweg did a movie that was written by Gypsy Rose Lee. This the was it the G String Murders?
Oh, I think I couldn't tell you.
Okay, but anyway, so watching old movies about strippers and burlesque was always fascinating to me. So when I was on stage, it was more like I harken back to those kinds of
Yeah,
shows and that genre. Uh,
I didn't know. I was always a retro dude anyway. Because even when I was in porn, I kind of wanted to do like some retro scenes and
right,
stuff like that. It's just like that 1950s,
right,
19, even 40s type vibe. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So that always so I got my self confidence. Well, since I was 17. I had
Mm-hmm.
curves and I was cute, and I had a pair of pants with the butt ripped out like Samantha Fox. Okay. And I went to the student union and I got a soda and I walked out and my shoe was untied. So I stopped and I heard all these like feet stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned around and I looked behind me and 100 guys had followed me out of the student union.
I mean, the pants you was wearing, plus I'm pretty sure you had an ass. Remember, I told you fellas at the beginning of the show, underrated. She has one of the nicest asses in the game.
Well, my ass has 8 covers. My titties have 25 front covers. My ass has 8 covers. But I mean, that's still. I remember first time I knew my ass had made the cover. I was walking past one of those newsstands in New York,
Yeah.
in Manhattan, and I'm like, was that my ass?
They noticed. They noticed.
So I was just like, what? So I had to buy the magazine, which I still have to this day. And then twice I had the honor of being on 2 different magazine covers at the same time. Because I
That's
remember
sweet.
my ex called me up from San Diego. He's like, all right, so I'm looking at the magazines at 7-Eleven, and there's your titties on the cover of a Score mag.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
like, well, fuck that. I don't want to look at her. He goes, so I want to look at the ass magazines, and there's your ass on the cover of Big Brother. I can't get away from this woman.
Oh my God. So now with that, how did you get into the porn? How did you transition? How did you get into the porn side?
A friend of mine, he always was at strip clubs and stuff, and I had met him through a friend of mine, Tina, who is also a stripper. And I was in Florida, and he sent my pics into Score Group, and they're like, "Can you be here tomorrow?"
Hold on. Now wait a second. How did he send in the pictures?
I think he emailed them in.
Okay. We were about to say. I was about to say he might have mailed. I was like, he had mailed them in. I said that let you know, people.
Yeah.
This is
No,
what we
he
had to do to get gigs. But go ahead.
he emailed them in. They were like, "Can we have you tomorrow?" And I was like, "No," because I was working a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a shoot on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And we just Score Group and did a shoot. And it was just me and Peter. I did my own makeup, wore my own clothes, and that got me my first magazine cover, which was XL number 48.
Yes, I remember that cover. So let's unpack that first shoot, cause um with now was this boy girl? Because I know that a lot of time what they normally do is they'll do like a solo and then maybe a boy girl.
No, it was strictly just a solo shoot.
Okay then.
Just the
So
solo.
so we're gonna unpack her first solo and then we'll get to the first boy girl. All
And
right.
they paid me $750.
I want y'all to smoke that over, as I like to do it.
Now, last time I heard, solos were what, 150 to 300 pay. So
You
they've
just
actually,
sat here and said you got paid 750. Did you
well, that's not the most amount of money I've gotten paid for a solo. $3,000 is the most amount of money I've gotten paid for a solo shoot.
and this flex is brought to you by Samantha 38G, ladies and gentlemen.
So, and that was for Jugmaster.
Yeah, see, I forget. I no, I didn't forget about Jugmaster, but yeah, Jugmaster was the shit. Like they really got girls on overseas hard, big time.
I don't know about that. I mean, I know he was into big titties, and it was just a one guy production team.
Yeah.
Um, and so Jeff, I think his name was. But yeah, I don't know about the overseas girls. I've always just focused on me and my stuff more so than other people's careers for the most part, because you can let other people's success steal your own joy.
Mm-hmm. So true.
And you just can't allow that in your head sometimes. I mean, sometimes they can inspire you, but I can't tell you.
If people should treat competition friendly. If you're going to be competitive, treat it as friendly, meaning that the competition inspires you, not
Yeah,
makes you
it was fun.
envious.
I mean,
You
I'm
know what I'm
still good
saying?
friends with Maria Moore.
Good night. That's another day. I was out, but let's get back to let's get back to what it is because I see this is gonna be a very fun interview. All right, so this is your first time being in front of the camera, or whatever. So this is a solo. We're gonna unpack this one first. So with the solo, tell me how you was feeling. Was you nervous? What did they do to comfort you? Because it's one thing that you fucking to do. It's another thing you're you got to
I
use
wasn't
a
nervous.
dildo.
I wasn't nervous
Okay.
because I just called upon all those years of being on stage. And you have to understand, Score Group was just going from just being magazines to the online part.
Yeah.
They really didn't know what they were doing either. How they operate today is some of the structure that I gave them years ago.
Mm.
So I changed how they shoot
Mm.
when I was on set and how they operate. And they
Yeah,
still,
but
listen, they copy me all the time. I know this because when my photographer started, I got him hired on there, and he's like, they would be like, okay, can you do this, this, and this? And he'd go, I
well,
just,
I mean, you was one of their first really hot girls. Yeah, and what I mean by hot girls is the girl that's popular, that really moved their magazine. You know,
yeah,
period. Um, because it was like I never forget. It was like when I remember you was on the cover of Score itself, and I remember one day I went in there.
and
I
I don't
got
think I
mine.
put the cover of Score itself, XL
Well,
Girls and
yeah.
Voluptuous, but never
Well,
Score.
it like this. When I went in the next day, it was gone. So there you go. Um, it it was gone. I was like, damn, I just bought one. I bet I bought one,
I
but
won, I won Plumper of the Year so many times, Model of the Year and Plumper of the Year
yeah.
so many times for Voluptuous and Plumper that they gave me model. They gave me Model of the Decade and then Model of the Century.
Oh my goodness. So now your first boy girl
Was for Score
shoot
Group. No,
was
that
with
was for
Scorpion.
Big Naturals.
That was Big Naturals. Okay, so now this is different because now you got to work with somebody.
Yeah.
So let's unpack that real quick. So of course, people remember I told you there are levels to this. She's on the level where it's studio. This is studio. This is I don't know who the fuck this is I'm about to shoot with. So you got to develop chemistry in a short period of time, all this good shit, this, that, and the third.
Me and that guy did not have chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
That guy had his girlfriend who was a nurse calling him up, cussing him out like crazy and guilt tripping him. So, and he quit after that soon.
Damn.
But I'm not a nervous type of person
Mm-hmm.
because I got in the business at 30, not 20.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the online porn part, I got into porn at 30.
Mm-hmm.
30 knew who I was and my boundaries and what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not nervous. That was a weird shoot though.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had all kinds of investors there watching.
Oh God.
And
Love the air quotes, didn't you? You love the air quotes. Yeah,
yeah.
investors
So
are
after
right.
we were done shooting, Mike shot me, the owner
Mm-hmm.
of Reality Kings shot me.
Yeah.
And I was leaving, and then all these investors come running after me in the hallway. They're like, what, we don't get blowjobs? And I was like, am I getting paid for those blowjobs? And they're like, no. I'm like, no. And I left.
See, people don't realize there was creeps back in the day like they are now. There
There's
was just
always going to be
different type creep. It was
There's
a different
always
type.
going to be creeps. There's always going
Yeah.
to be misconceptions. Some of the, especially in the beginning when people are in this business, especially the guys. I mean, there's a misconception on from the female point of view and from the guy's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So there's misconceptions on both sides. But guys have this dream, oh, it's nothing but sex and coke and whores and making lots and lots of money. It's still a business. It may be a business of fantasy, but it's still a business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are some performers who will go beyond and above to do that. Now, I never had to do the casting couch to get a role because I would just walk out. You know, I mean, I went on one go see, and that guy's terrified of me because right in the middle of the go see, I brought Elizabeth Starr and the original Tommy Gunn with me because I was hanging out with them. And they wanted in with Bang Bros, and I'm in LA, and this guy's telling me do this, do that, and I'm like, who are you taking these pics for, Olivier? And he goes, yes. And then I'm like, oh no, you can't do that. So I start texting Olivier, what the fuck am I doing in LA doing a ghost see? Because I'd never been on one, so I was fascinated by it, but I'm still gonna go because I'm not scared of shit. And so
Yeah.
I'm dialing him up, and then that guy's phone starts blowing up. What the fuck are you doing pissing Sam off?
See, no, but see, that's why I say bottom line, if you make them money, you can call shots.
Right.
And
Like I said, if you're number one in sales, you can get away with a lot more shit.
yeah.
You know,
Because
a
they
lot of girls
gotta
would.
keep you happy. They
A lot
gotta
of
keep
guys
you happy.
would. A lot of guys really sucked his dick. I show up with a crew.
Yeah, they about that's my support group. You know, like you got your support animal, that's my support group.
Right. I didn't
So
know.
so I mean, but also like what I talk about is what it is to shoot on camera. Because I mean we talk about it, but a lot of people don't really talk about it. Because it's like dealing with if this guy keeping it up or not.
There's so many things
Positioning.
that goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many as a performer. There's so many things that goes on that you have to be in the moment and focused on them, but also to be aware of the camera, the lighting, how you look, your body position. I mean, I was once on set at School Group, and the director goes, "All right, this is going to be missionary, but I need you on your hip, turn this way, but can you make your nipples go in opposite direction?"
What? What?
So we just went way beyond complicated of missionary there. And I looked, the guy's name was Pedro, and I looked at him like, no.
I, this proves my point, people. When I told you, I said sometimes we be sore after a scene. Right there, it's just a proof point.
The amount of energy when you have sex at home is 20 minutes, maybe an hour if you two are up and willing and able. But on set, you're having sex for 4 to 12 hours with a lot, like 100 breaks. Now, I don't know too many men who can have sex and take that many breaks and have a dinner.
Yeah.
And all those breaks to still be able to perform.
And add in, depending upon the level you are, how many people's in the room. If you have a director trying to direct the scene.
Or get
See, that's why I didn't go Hollywood. That's maybe why I didn't go Hollywood.
Some of those directors will purposely fuck with the guy.
I believe
in his heart on because he really wants to fuck the girl. So you had that situation. Like I've warned some of the guys in Miami, be careful because this director wants to fuck the girl. He's going to be flirting with her, and he's going to do everything. He's going to do delays. He's going to do breaks. He's going to do this and that to fuck with your heart on, to make you in front of her.
That's why I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna say this again, people. Remember, I said what's the percentage of guys that are lames in this business? 95.
So
95% of them are lames is in this business, dog.
So it has to depend upon, the agenda of whoever you're working with that day. And you have to, when I'm on set, I'm quiet because I have to read everybody. I need to read everybody's energy. I still got to do what I need to do on camera, but yet, be a team player at the same time, but without having to suck some strange dick. can I get through this and shoot for this company? And it doesn't matter how big is the company. And I've shot for some big companies, even in LA. I've shot some of the biggest companies.
Yes, you have.
And the director is still going to try to get, play the poor me on the way home. Well, I never get sex. I never get laid. I'm like, aren't you married?
You know why the dudes is like that, right? Because they're told that he who with the camera gets the most pussy. That's what they are told, ladies and gentlemen.
They may work with a lot of them. It just didn't work with me because I knew I'm going to get hired without it. I didn't have to do the casting couch because I knew I was going to get hired without it.
But see, I'm going to tell you the other thing about it too. Content creation wasn't big then yet, period. Because a lot of girls wasn't doing it. They were more concerned about getting the cover of the DVD, getting the cover of the magazine, doing the paid gigs so they can boost their escorting. That was the main reason for it. For the most part.
Yeah, and that business model worked for a lot of people. I'm not going to say it didn't work. The business, here's the thing is, for most part, every business is going to have to change and evolve.
Yeah.
And we have to change and evolve with it. Like I'm watching videos on how to do AI, as I have to change and evolve with it. And, but I didn't really depend upon paid shoots for my bills because I had a solo site and I also cammed. As one of the first porn stars to cam. I'm Live was the company that signed me up. I was the 17th porn stars to stand up. Tara Patrick was number 15. Ron Jeremy was number 16, and I was number 17.
Sweet.
So I'm one of the first we used to cam. Taylor Stevens, I think, is actually the first one. So I'm like the second BBW to cam. And then I was number 17 in general of porn stars to cam.
So when did you start doing content, boy-girl content for yourself? I know, of course, you were doing the cam and you were doing the solo.
From day one.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, put it this way, how did you go about finding the guys to work with?
On sets. I mean,
yeah. Was this before the shoot or after?
After. I mean, I'm not above batting my eyes and flirting and doing some love bombing to get what I want. Because that's what the male porn stars do. They do a lot of love bombing. They want to fuck you offset. And I'm like, well, as long as I can roll my camera.
I sympathize with them, but don't sympathize with them. I sympathize with them because you got they probably ain't getting much pussy offset any damn way because shit, hell.
No, a lot of them were. That wasn't the. Here's the thing is, I was a Miami girl, so all the LA guys, especially, I was like a mystery because I'm not playing the LA games. I'm not an LA girl, and LA's not my scene. Miami was. Now Miami guys respect me, and it's all about business. So I just paid them. I paid their fees.
True.
So it's just for them. It was just another day at work. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I got to work. I mean, I've worked with a lot of guys multiple times. I mean, Brandon, I probably worked with 10, 15 times between my stuff and his. Levi's, 10 times. Tony Rubino, 10 times. So I've worked with a lot of these guys. And the guys in Miami respect me, and there was never ever any issues. They show up, they get the job done. There's no flakiness. The LA guys were a different story.
So it's like when it comes to, could you have girls that will shoot with fans, that will shoot with content creators per se? Would you ever deal with a content creator?
Yeah, Jay Bunny. I worked with Jay Bunny, and he was very professional, sweet guy. We worked well together. So yeah, I have with one. I remember the first time I was at the house. He would. a company was using my place as a location. And he was a talent, and he showed up with his cousin. So I opened the door and welcomed him in, and him and his cousin just sat. They just stood up against the wall and just like. So him and I dated, and he hired me for some projects, and he helped get me my Vivid shoot, and I hired him to shoot for me.
Oh my God. And damn, she said Vivid. Wow. Now that's big time right there.
I told you I've shot for some of the top companies.
Oh, I know, but I forgot about Vivid. I was like, oh damn, you hit the top of the mountain.
In fact, the director told me that. I mean, they don't admit it, but that movie was their top selling movie of that year, with me and Lisa Sparks in it. Mm. That's what Stoney told me. Yeah, that was the top selling movie that year.
So now, did you ever shoot anything that was the first time that wasn't yours? That was the first time, like a first time anal.
Nope,
it was my
first. I've only done 3 anal scenes, but 2 of them my own, and then 1 for score.
Oh, okay then. So shoot. So it's because I always felt that if it's something of that nature, that should be the thing that should be on your shit.
I think that everybody has different reasons. Well, there's people have different reasons for why they're in the business. And they may have different reasons to do that, because I know Tony used to tell me that he could get girls $5,000 for their first anal shoot. So that was, for them, that was their goal. And then
girls will win for that $5,000, and I ain't mad at them.
Most anal shoots pay $1,200. So he's getting them $5,000 for their first time. These are skinny models, grant you, not BBWs. So that makes a difference, And then the fame they get from that, it's going to get them all the fans to their sites, where they're going to be pulling in 250, 300,000 a year.
Now, here's the thing, because of course when you start working online, how you was able to adjust to how the online climate changed. Because
I was there changing it. So I didn't have to adjust. I was there changing it. I was there. I mean, I'm that OG. I was there. My first video with Big Naturals went viral. And then after that, so many memes, with me in them. So I set the standard for BBWs. I set the standard for big tits. I shot for, there's a BBW model who shot for Brazzers several years ago, and she came out and she goes, "I'm the first BBW to shoot for a mainstream porn company." And I was like,
whoa.
I'm sorry, what was those 20 years of my career? Because when I started, there were no BBW companies. All I had to shoot was for normal companies. I shot for Evil Angels, Brain Bros, Reality Kings.
Because I'm gonna ask you this now, because all these companies, especially at the time when you were shooting with them, they were getting the skinny girls. So you was like probably the only BBW, if not 1 or 2 at best, that were being shot. What was your thought process at that time? Because it's kind of like, damn, these motherfuckers, I'm sitting here goddamn with these skinny chicks.
I don't even think anything, but the thing is,
and I'm outselling them. Hold on, and I'm outselling them. Let's make this clear. Because
I didn't know I was outselling them. I didn't know it. I did not have that information at that time, because I wasn't talking to the affiliates. Once I started talking to the affiliates, then I found out this information on XBids.
You couldn't have felt. Wait, hold on. But the internet wasn't like it was now,
right?
Because of algorithm and shit like that. But I was like, I could have told you, like,
because I was so focused on my own thing in my own life. Yeah. I just, and I wasn't around anybody who was really talking about it.
Yeah,
You know,
because it like this. I'll tell you now. If I call you back more than twice, you've made me lots of money.
that's not what you're hearing on set
They're
as a
not
model.
gonna tell you. They
No,
why?
they're telling you what they're telling you as a performer when you are on set is you don't make money. I can't believe I'm paying this rate. You're too expensive. This isn't going to make money. They do everything they could to run a girl down to keep the prices low
Yeah,
because what they pay is criminal because the price is not really increased.
yeah,
Now, a lot of girls don't shoot for companies anymore because they make so much more money doing their own thing. But I helped make that possible because I kept on pushing girls and telling them, don't shoot for this shit. Go make
yeah,
your own money, Cammy. Go make
mm,
your own money on clips for sale. So I helped push the industry in the direction that it is now,
yeah.
where the
Because
models
because
make the most amount of money.
because well,
That's
honey,
why
you
when I say
also
I set the standard, I really did.
mm, because you also set the standard because you was one of the ones that were doing fetish early too. Let's
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Yeah, yeah. We got feet. Oh, she was already doing that. She was ahead of y'all. Y'all
See,
late.
that's what I'm saying. It's like you told me. I mean, I changed the internet. The internet didn't change me. I changed the internet.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. What made you start dibbling dabbling in it back then? Because it wasn't hot back then like that.
Um,
Well,
one,
socially per se.
yeah. A friend of mine, darling aka Ricky Waters, was
Yeah.
shooting fetish stuff for clips herself, which was only like 7 years old at that time. Her and Carol Fox,
Mhm.
aka X-rated wife.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, so I was intrigued because Carol's about as OG as me,
Hmm.
if not a little bit more. Um, and I went and joined it, and then and this is what I recommend. I went through all the niches and I wrote down the ones I was interested in.
Hmm.
And then I started filming it.
Hmm.
And with some of the videos, my first videos, I filmed me blowing bubbles with bubble gum, topless. And the fucker
Yes.
sold. Okay, okay. But
Yes.
here's the crazy thing. Like, I don't know, I can't blow big bubbles
Yeah.
because I don't have a big enough mouth to get that much gum in there. But I can
Hmm.
blow a bubble in a bubble in a bubble 7 times over.
Hmm.
So that's why they were selling because the guys in the bubble gum fetish never seen anything like that or since then. And so according to one guy, when he took me private on the cam session, he goes, "You set the bubblegum world on fire." And I'm like, "There's a bubblegum world?" You know? So a lot of the stuff I did was just instinctual and just doing what I loved.
Hmm.
It's just doing what I loved. And when I started doing the washing dishes videos,
Hmm.
Manuel Ferrara is calling me up and he goes, some of the biggest directors love you by your videos, watching you wash dishes in the business. I'm like, what?
Oh no, y'all missed the part. She said the directors. We ain't gonna skip over that part. She
Wait, wait, wait.
just said right the
He said Manuel
directors.
Ferrara, the top male performer in the business, is calling me and telling me that the directors are jerking off to my content.
Yeah, but see, I tell females this: when you drop some shit on Twitter, you're being watched. They just want to see where you're going with it, and they catch you when you're hot. That's when they want you.
Um,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm talking about
but they
nowadays.
want to fuck you, and that's why. So, because they're
I
still
mean,
wanting
fucking
men.
is a part of it too, because let's be
Yeah, I
real.
mean, that's just, social media has really got to be able to start networking and working for other companies through MySpace.
Hmm.
I networked like crazy on MySpace. I went and joined and followed every porn star I could. And then pretty soon they were in my DMs, wanting to fuck me. And I'm like, I'll fuck you on a set. Give me a job.
There you go. Hold on. Okay, so we talk about fucking, and we want to fuck. How many of these pages that you did that the male talent you saw them, you was like, you ain't got to say who or what or what have you. You was like, no.
Um, it was usually new guys who didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
you know, or they weren't into BBWs, and that's just there's one director for Score Group. I got fired.
Damn.
Well, that's not the first director I've gotten fired, which is a pretty much a power play because I also got one fired for Bang Bros. Um, because he told me he hated shooting fat chicks on the set at Score Group.
Yes,
So
because they be that much of an asshole. I done heard, trust me, I done heard some shit what some of these motherfuckers said on set.
When you're on camera, you have to emote. You have to look a certain way, act a certain way, be happy. And this guy's feeding me negative shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think he ended up marrying Chloe Vivier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could throw some old school names out there, but
old school name for real, goddamn. But no, but see,
I mean, I
that's
went
the
to the
thing.
owner and I told John, I was like, John, this is what this guy's saying to me on set. I was like, you cannot, and it wasn't for me that I went and told on him. I was like, I didn't want him to put another BBW through that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did not want him putting another model through that.
No, especially if part of the Score brand involves BBWs.
Exactly.
Because that's part of their brand. That's
right. So they fired him. So he probably hates me. Oh well.
I think hate's an understatement. To be honest with you, he got fired because you like every time he see a picture of her, goddamn, he just clenches.
You know, it was highly unprofessional.
Yeah, I mean but see that points to, like I said before, how much Score trusts you as a talent.
Yeah,
that you know what I'm saying, but because they're like, it's not just that you make them money; it's they trust your opinion.
They do.
A lot of females don't get that kind of power in the industry.
They don't. They've also hired people on my recommendation that worked for them for years.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the fact that they've called me wanting to know, you know, about male talent. Mm-hmm. And I really changed a lot about their company and how they operate in general. So, but it was a mutual respectful relationship between both of us. But yeah, you're right. A lot of women, we were considered disposable, but that's one of the things I sat down and said at that lunch with Score Group. I'm going to change this, this, and this, and this.
I mean, because keep it 100, the way the industry was treating BBWs was a travesty.
The way they treat all models is a travesty. I can't say specifically that it's BBWs because they.
But I was just talking about on the BBW side. Period. Women in general, let's keep it 100. I was told this. They treat them like cattle.
They did.
That's what it is. They treat them like cattle. That's
because they didn't want us to know our own power and ability to earn money on our own. And then I was a part of a site called Stripper Web, which gave advice to only women in this business and had over 100,000 content creators and cam girls. And I pushed and I pushed and I told them how they could make money without shooting for these companies.
Oh, low key, the porn companies couldn't stand the cam companies. They couldn't stand them.
They thought they were blowing. Now the cam companies own the industry, so I don't know. I mean, because guess who owns OnlyFans? The guy who started My Free Camps. But yeah.
But see, that what I'm saying. But see, even from the cats that I was talking to back in Hollywood back then, they already knew what it was. Because they were telling me, yo, get your girls, get a website. Because, dude, it's about to go down. they were telling me then, DVDs, it's about to be online. And you saw how many companies closed up shop when it switched over to
because
online.
A lot of the industry lacks imagination. It's just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. You know, and that's one of the reasons I also got into fetish because it wasn't 4 positions come on face. Mm-hmm. It's the same scenario, just it changed the players. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the industry is copy paste, and that's boring to me. And you always have to mentally stay stimulated. You have to challenge yourself. You know, and it also like I don't mind competition because it just makes me work harder, smarter, better. because my stuff gets copied by girls down to the outfit in the videos. And then one model, I think it was Maria, told me I get guys wanting me to copy you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even the models who are trying to copy me; it's the guys requesting that the girls copy me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, let me up my game on editing. Good luck finding this color in this outfit because I'm changing it.
So now the other thing we talk about is I tell ladies you have to expand your brand because you talked about the fact you do candy. Pretty sure you do custom videos and
Sorry.
stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like with you, when did you started in your career to expand that brand?
I mean, my best friend taught me into camming. And she's
Mm-hmm.
not, I mean, she used to be a stripper. Now she's, a housewife. But that song, she used to be a hoe, your mom used to be a hoe, that's her. Know exactly how she got your daddy. I was there. I was watching. Um,
Oh my god. Oh, I love her. Go
I
ahead.
think you just have to, I don't know. I mean, I just see the possibilities. I study the business from every which way I can.
Mm-hmm.
I study it from every which way. And, she told me to do camming, and camming is such a great tool as a performer because I know my angles, I know my light. Look at my backdrop, look at the colors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to pop out on, I learned from camming how to pop on the page
Mm-hmm.
to get the attention to get to the top of the front page. I learned about algorithms. I learned about marketing. I learned about how recruiting my own affiliates
Mm-hmm.
so that they push me and I make more money. You learn instantly what the fans like and what they don't like because it's, you're directly dealing with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're learning at that point. I mean, some girls don't, but, I'm learning from them
Mm-hmm.
because you're getting instant feedback of what's working and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
What's working, you're going to make money. When it's not working, you're not making any money.
Mm-hmm.
And I always want to be making money.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now I gotta ask you this because I gotta ask this OG a question because this has been the conversation that ladies have been having here in 2024. It's about content trade and it's about the guys. Because a lot of ladies are pissed off at the guys because they're pissed off of where the guys are placing thus content. Now, my question is to you: what do you think upon that argument when it comes to if you do a content trade with a guy, do you have restrictions on where he can place it?
Oh yeah. Oh
Do
yeah.
you
Well,
stuff of that? Go ahead.
I have it in my contract. There's my old webmaster. They cannot resell it to my old webmaster or people affiliated with him. I have the names in there. They have 30 days to pay me 10 grand if they do sell it to him or give it to him for free.
Mm. Mm.
Because he is so. I mean, I'm still one of the top selling people on his site. Haven't shot for him in 10 years. I'm still one of the top girls, most watched models. So I know he's desperate for my thing, but that's one of the reasons I only shoot with established people. They're not desperate for the money.
Mm. True. True.
So I don't shoot with desperate people
Mm.
because I learned that lesson very at the beginning. If the girl needs $50, she's going to sell your name and phone number to some jerk because she needs $50.
Mm.
So you don't shoot with desperate people.
See, that's why I said your brand is also built off of the motherfuckers you fuck on camera, ladies and gentlemen.
And people will use your name to get in with other people. They will use you as someone who, is vouching for them. So that's another reason why you have to be very careful about who you work with because, I know why newbies want to work with me because they think that they'll have a career off of that. And I'm like, no, one, you won't. And two, I don't vouch for people. I learned that in Vegas. You don't vouch for nobody.
Oh no, because trust me, I've been in them situations where I vouched for somebody and I regretted it on more than one occasion, honestly.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, if you bring them in, they're going to look at you funny if they fuck up, and they're going
Yeah.
to stick you right with them.
Right. Yeah, and that's something you have to take into consideration. Um, you know, I mean, my webmaster fucked over a lot of affiliates and a lot of people in the business. And when I joined the XBiz page and joined the forum, I was like, I asked one question. They're like, shit, she's leaving him. She's leaving him because that ain't right. I mean, they knew the writing on the wall. I mean, and then the affiliates would work with me, but he fucked so many of them over, they wouldn't work with me.
Yes.
I know he was doing that. So you have to sometimes go and poke and prod and investigate. And that Carol always warned me that he was fucking me over, but sometimes you just got to go do that. I got to go poke it out.
You got to have the account that watch the account that watch the account.
Right. So I mean, there's so much to this business. To be on top of it can be overwhelming.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People don't realize that's the mental stress of it. Is keeping up with it, especially if you're doing it full time.
Well, yeah, I've been doing it full time for 25 years, but yeah, it is, there is a lot of stuff. That's why I keep the people I work with to a very small group of people. I don't need new people in my life all the time.
She said no new friends.
To it, but I'm very cautious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very cautious and I take things slow. You have to earn my trust. Because I learned how to operate all on my own without anybody and do very well. But you also learn everything from every angle. I know lighting, I know cameras, I know everything.
But see, that what ladies don't understand. You need to learn that because that's part of the business. Because
it's part of your craft. It's part of the craft, but
yes.
I mean, in the very beginning, I remember my very first XBiz. I called them up, bitching them out because that was the first time they did it in Miami.
Yeah.
At the Diplomat, all the men told me, because I was asking questions about the business size, and all the men's like, all you have to do is look pretty. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. And I was pissed because I find that sexist and condescending. I called some people up and I bitched. I'm not afraid to find out who's the boss and complain.
But in like, I'm gonna ask you this then: is it hard for men in this business to respect a woman when it comes to business?
I think women in every business have that issue. Mm-hmm. I think women in every business have that issue. Despite that, women outperform men and when they start their own business as entrepreneurs, and are less likely to fail. And that's what Kevin from Shark Tank said. So I find that has to do with, all businesses. I mean, it's easy to be myopic about our industry and make that statement. But, like I said, I have to look at the bigger picture for everything. And women have those issues. I mean, like a lot of women, there's a lot of trolls that send death threats to women of all industries. I don't deal with trolls because, one, I learned out who the industry trolls are because there's professional trolls in this industry. And I could tell by the way they troll me when I'm on cam who it is. Do you want me to call your wife? Because I hit the industry boards and I learned how they type, who they are, and their personalities. So I know exactly who it is when they're hating. And they're
because see, also I see, speak to the ability to network, get in where you fit in, because a lot of people don't understand.
Is that there's nobody was shooting BBW, so I didn't fit in. So I just networked in Brooklyn.
Nah. Wait, I'm talking about you, a lady that's playing with the CEOs. You, the lady that's talking to the big dogs. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I play with the big dogs. I know the owners of all these companies. In fact, the owner of StreamMate helped set my cam room with me. He called me. I got in contracts. When people say contracts can't be changed, and I'm like, oh, but they can. I've gotten 2 cam companies and 2 regular companies to change their contracts for me.
Mm.
um, and I was told it couldn't be done, and I'm like, 5 minutes later, it's done. That's how fast it took. Um, but I also do companies right when I work for them.
Mm.
When I'm there, I'm focused on getting the best product out there possible. So that has something to do with it. I was simply there when they started. I think that has a lot to do with it. And when you work hard and you're diligent and you try to give advice so everybody benefits from the situation, then you earn that respect.
But see, also, I think they see that you're more than a pretty face with nice tits. Because
Because,
sometimes, because sometimes men underestimate a woman's intelligence when
well,
it comes
because
to business.
they've seen me posting on the boards. They say I don't back down. In fact, I own people. I own their
Mhm.
asses when they come for me. I got receipts. I own their asses. A lot of people are scared of me. Vicky Vet told me a lot of the men in the business are scared of me. I'm like, well, that's their problem.
Not me. But but I'm asking you this: do you think they take your sternness for being rude?
I don't care.
Hmm.
Facts over feelings. I don't care. I'm a straight shooter. I mean, there's a person I'm friends with a long, long time, and she said I was really hard to take because she thought my information was too brutal. And some of even the cam girls on stripper web used to say that, and they used to hate that about me until they
Yeah,
realized I wasn't sugarcoating the truth.
yeah.
That I was giving them facts that they could deal with and learn from and grow from.
Mm-hmm.
And they went from being the bottom of the 5th page to the top of the 1st page with my advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I help increase their income 3, 4 times over. So I don't
Yeah,
believe in sugarcoating everything because I don't have time. That's a waste of time. When people
yeah,
are
but
kissing your ass and telling you what you want to hear, you don't grow.
mm-mm.
You don't grow as a person. You don't grow in business. So if they can't handle it, then that's on them. Like honestly, then they're lying to themselves, and that's on them.
See, and that's the biggest thing of what I do this podcast to give honesty people, so y'all can understand the real about this business, because social media and every outlet it is make it seem like what we do is so fucking easy. It's a walk in the park. You'll make money. You
Because
come
I mean,
in.
listen, I used to watch those ice skating shows. That looks really easy until you get out there and ice skate. And get picked up. I mean,
you,
you watch
you,
you watch some chef make beef Wellington, then you go to
yeah,
try it. It's a hot mess, and it's still raw. I mean,
yeah,
I think that
yeah,
comes from
because
every industry. That's just how it is. People who are really good at it make it look easy.
yeah, because
And
it's the point. Like I tell people, yeah, it's a mental prep for you to do a shoot. It's a physical prep when you have to do a shoot. This you have to curve your sex life, meaning that your money's made being clean, and them tests are not
you're very
cheap.
you're very sweet. I don't warn people.
I I I
I'm
be
like,
trying to tell, but I be like, dude,
some
you don't.
lessons in life have to be learned the hard way.
Mm,
And those are the best lessons we learn. I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way.
mm.
And every day is a trial and error to improve, to get better, to do your hustle. So a lot of lessons the hard way. So you're not saving them from the hard lessons they need to learn.
Oh no,
And
oh
some
no.
people need to learn it harder than others.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and they learn. Don't trust and believe,
Yeah, they
because
learn.
like I said, it's just in this day and age, it's a little bit nicer than compared to the years that we came in. And porn stars were held to a way different standard.
Um,
You know,
I
in my
think it's
opinion.
more open opportunity for whoever and everybody,
Hmm.
which is what a lot of the glass ceilings that I broke to make possible.
Hmm.
Um, so that there's that. That the fact I find it's a blessing that they don't have to deal with those things.
Oh yeah, Oh, trust and believe, the companies did not want this era. They didn't want this era.
No, they didn't. That's why I pushed for it so hard. I remember on XViz, and they used to talk trash about cam girls on these
Yeah.
forums. We're all stupid. We're all whores. We're all useless. We're all replaceable. And I was like, y'all are fucking up. Because, and they used to say that about the porn stars, that they're always late. I was like, if you're paying these people so much money and you're so good, then why are they not wanting to show up to your sets? What are you doing? I was like, you're telling me your hiring practices suck that much you can't get dependable people?
Mm.
I was like, that's on you, because I come from management. I was like, if I'm hiring people who can't show up on time and be ready, then that's on me as a manager.
Yeah, because
if you keep on having this issue over and over again, then that's on you as a manager, as someone who's doing the hiring, more so as it reflects upon them. Because I got that lecture every time I went to a shoot, that everybody's on drugs and everybody's flaky and nobody ever shows up. Meanwhile, I'm on time, I'm sober, and I'm trying to get the job done. But I'm getting the same lecture. And then all that negativity before I do a shoot. So I'm like, well, maybe you should hire more reliable people and then walk away. So yeah, that might be hard for them to take, but I told them this was going to happen. And then when I went, I saw what they're saying on GFY. I went over to all the girls on, and you have to understand, Stripper Web was the largest industry board in the industry that nobody wants to acknowledge before it was shut down last year. It literally had 100,000 creators on it.
Sweet.
And I was like, listen, this is what these guys are saying about you. This is what the cam companies are saying about you. This is what the fitness are saying about us. Go look. And the guys are like, y'all, we need to shut the fuck up. Girls are reading this and deciding not to work for companies.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, just the way that things has been, you don't need the companies like you did back then.
Yeah. Well, one post, and I shut that stuff down on 3 different industry boards.
Mm-hmm.
I shut down that negativity about performers with one post. Now, what they say in the privately among themselves might be still the same, but they're not saying it publicly anymore.
Oh no, but trust me, I already know what the grandmas is. I be hearing it come across my desk. Yeah. Trust me, I do it. When OnlyFans started popping, I said, yeah. Some of y'all motherfuckers, I hope some of y'all motherfuckers make the transition, because some of y'all might go bankrupt.
Well, a lot of those companies did go bankrupt, and they don't have jobs. And here's me, like, oh, okay, told you. I have no empathy for you, because you had no empathy for a lot of girls and told them to go get fast food jobs. So I have no empathy for you, because I see what you said to these girls and performers for decades. I was like, I told you this was going to happen, that we were going to flip the script, and I flipped it. I flipped it because of Stripper Web, and I empowered the performers. So the internet and how it is today is because I did a lot of behind the scenes pushing.
So now I'm going to ask you this. Where do you see the game headed?
AI. You have a male loneliness problem. You have women, by 2030, half the women of childbearing ages are choosing not to have children, not to be in relationships with the men, to focus on their own back in all industries because of the abuse that women are getting in one form or another from men. So there's going to be a lot of lonely men who need someone to talk to. So it's a growth industry for us at this point. It's a growth industry. And then with AI, I can be 25 forever.
So true, so true. Now, I mean, I've talked to, shouts out to Erica Love. I know she's been doing the AI or what have you. And I told her, I said, I like the fact that you're jumping on it before these big wigs do. Because, see, my biggest thing is, should there be something in the paperwork that suggests and discuss AI?
Well, there was a lawsuit that just was won today that people couldn't use your likeness and create videos with it in general. So that's a win for actors and porn porn performers overall. So, I mean, there's going to be some bumpy roads, and just like everybody thought free porn tube sites would rule the world forever and ever and ever, and no one ever would be able to make money with paid porn anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We were told to give it up, and then Leo comes along with OnlyFans. See, Pornhub and all the companies that owned it, the most money from what research I've done, most money they made was $345 million a year.
Yeah.
And they're the top biggest company. And then OnlyFans comes along, puts all it behind a paywall, and makes $3 billion.
No preview, no preview, nothing. You don't know what you getting. That what made it so funny to me. I said, I'll be damned.
I mean, it's all behind a paywall again. And then all these states and countries are making laws against free porn. So, I mean, tube sites are shit. And now they have all these government regulations they have to adhere to. So they're trying to change and adapt, and that's not going over so well because our Visa and MasterCard more so than any country. Mm-hmm. But Leo came along and he blew, I mean, come on, $3 billion, $345 million, $3 billion. And then what last year he made what? $5 billion?
Yeah.
The company. But here's the thing is he has made more millionaires out of porn performers than any company for the past 30 years. There are 200 content creators making over $1 million a year with OnlyFans. 200 performers. Before that, you could only count on your hand how many porn performers have made that money. Jenna Jameson, Ron Jeremy, Danny Ash, and she started a cam company back in the day.
Yes, she did. Danny Ash, another legend in the business. Another legend.
Okay. And I don't know. I'm just throwing two in there because I don't know. The possibility, But 200 performers are making $1 million a year with OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he has made more millionaires out of content creators than any other company, all added up together for the past 30, 40 years of porn.
And see, I told people, I said, you got to think about the psychology of it. It has no porn in it or triple X in it. It says only fans. Easy sale to anything, period.
Well, yes, first of all, there's less clicks to join it than most sites. Mm-hmm. The more times you have to click, the more times to lose your buyer. And the second of all, once you're in the system, you can easily, with one click, join any other performer's OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can join any other performer's OnlyFans with one click. So he took that one click thing and made it possible. Mm-hmm. So there's 1 million content creators. Most of them are not deaf, but there's 1 million content creators. Do you know how many members they have on OnlyFans?
Tell us.
200 million, I think, was the last time I read.
I know it's a lot.
I mean,
because I tell people this: there was no site that blew up. The closest was Pornhub, and not even to the level of OnlyFans. OnlyFans really just exploded.
It supersized it. But it made the content creators partners. Yeah. Instead of making all the money, it shows how much money the porn companies were making, but it was exploitation. Because we didn't get royalties. It was exploitation. When I read a long time ago how one affiliate had made $300,000 off my porn in 1 year from Big Naturals. And I only got paid $1,000 for that scene. That's when I started behind the scenes to change the industry.
See, that's why I was told never let the industry have more content of you that you don't have of yourself.
Yeah, there's like 970 videos on my solo site.
Damn, you.
Look at you. Yeah. What?
Yeah, that's beautiful out of this piece. And every day, oh my goodness. Look, I done held you up here for an hour. I done held this lady up here for hours. You can see we could go for another hour, but
It's a
we're not
fascinating
gonna do that.
conversation.
We gonna save that. So I got to ask her the $1,000,000 question. And Miss Samantha, 38G, can I call you a smoke buddy?
Yes, I don't smoke, but yes.
Say no more. So that means she'll be back here on the Smokers Lounge, and
Yes.
we're going to bring her on the Premium Smoke Room on Loyal Fans. That's right, people. And you know what that means. It gets more crazy, gets more provocative, gets more candid, gets more wilder, gets more off the chain. Tits come out, dildos might come out. You don't know unless you subscribe. 5 premium podcasts, 3 sexy hosts you're gonna fall in love with. And I even have, my ass, putting in some work over in the video store. A lot for you to enjoy at the Premium Smoke Room, because the best smoke is always premium. So, Mr. Samantha 30G, tell my smokers where they can find you, spend money, worship you, all that good shit, see them titties,
Okay.
all that beautiful stuff.
We have, because I own my own domains. OnlySam3AG.com gets you my OnlyFans. You have Sam3AG.com or Samantha38G.com for my solo site.
Mm-hmm.
And you have TitsOnTV.com for my street mate account.
Mm.
You like that domain?
I love that domain.
So Tits on TV.
Tits on TV. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
I own about 60 domains. So yeah. Well, because if you own your domain, you
You can do a lot with it.
You link it to those sites, and so if those sites come and go, sites come and go. So if one goes, I don't have to worry about losing that traffic. I just redirect my link.
See, smart people. That's why I like doing these shows. So y'all can see these ladies are more than just beautiful faces and big tits that can ride a dick and suck a dick. They got a brain.
My fans are pretty good. They realize I'm smart because I talk to them. I cammed for almost 20 years now. I talk to them. They know me.
So with that, you know how we end these things all day and every day, people. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Samantha, say goodbye to my smokers, baby.
Bye.
That's beautiful. Y'all take it easy.